Hi, and welcome back to Jody Journals. Today I am doing my April setup. The theme I've chosen is rainbows and palm trees, and I really love it. The materials I'm using today are a koi watercolor set by Sakura, a Coliro M1200 watercolor, it's metallic. I'm using a Tombow dual brush N15, a Stabilo .88 mini, so it's a fine point marker, and I'm using a size 6 brush. Once I've layered in all of the colors of the rainbow, I head over to my metallic watercolor set, and I chose an icy holographic blue, and I am splattering it over the rainbow. Kind of reminds me of like rain or ocean spray. I confess I've been dreaming of heading to Hawaii for vacation, but it's not really in the cards. But I can always put it in my journal. While I'm waiting for the paint to dry, I grab my dual brush by Tombow and start outlining the calendar. This is going to be the monthly spread, and all I included on this month is just a quick overview of the monthly calendar. I do a title later, and I paint it in that same icy metallic blue. I have all of this sketched out beforehand, so none of this is freehand. Can't really see my pencil markings, but I kind of have everything sketched out in pencil before I start. Now that I've finished putting in the numbers using my fine liner, I am going to draw the words April 22 and I fill in those little blank parts of the thicker part of the font with the metallic watercolor. I had to walk away and come back while the paint was drying for the next step. I'm going to be adding in silhouettes of palm trees over the rainbow, but I had to wait for the paint to be completely dry before then. How I draw the trunks is I just start at the top of where I want the tree to be, and I slowly press harder on the brush pen to give it more thickness. The harder you press, the more thick it gets. Then with a very light stroke, I sort of sketch out where I would like the palm tree branches to be. Once the skeleton of the tree is mapped out, then I come back where those branches would be, and I draw the fronds coming off the main branch. It's just a bunch of very light strokes headed in the same general direction out and away from the curve. We are now on to the first two of the weekly spreads. I am not having too much of a grid on my weekly spreads. I'm going to have some rainbows up in the corner and one rainbow that spans the fold of the journal on the lower portion of the journal in the middle. And then I do some smaller palm trees. I'll also be painting that same icy metallic blue on little rectangles for a quick overview of the month. And that's just how I mark what week is being represented on which side of the spread. Again, while we wait for the paint to dry, I'm going to go in and draw the days of the week and outline and draw in the calendar. I've already splattered the metallic color over the rainbows, and once the paint is dry, we'll go in and draw some palm trees. I'm using the same technique for the smaller palm trees, where I start with a very light touch and press harder to make sure that the trunks look thicker at the bottom. I like to curve the palm trees so that it gives the drawing a little more dynamic presence. In just a moment, I'm going to show you a close-up of how I draw the palm fronds coming out of the branches. That way you can sort of see. It's similar to how I would draw eyelashes. They kind of go the direction of the branch, and also keeping in mind your imaginary gravity. Which way are the branches being pulled down? We are now on the last spread, and on this one I'm doing one big rainbow that spans both pages. I've already pre-wet where I'm painting the rainbow so that the colors sort of blend as I layer them in. So where I'm adding the paint is very wet, and it allows the colors to sort of mingle and create nice little swirlies and just some visual interest. I'm also going to be drawing out the days of the week similarly. as to the last spread, just a little bit lower. The monthly calendar that I like for the overview will go in the upper corners. Once I'm finished with the rainbow, you'll see me draw the days of the week lower than they are marked out. The paint, the rainbow ended up being a lot thicker once the paint was on the page than I had originally planned space for, but it was no big deal. I just shifted everything down by 2 squares. Splatter paint is very fun, but it can also be a bit messy. The beauty of watercolors is it wipes off with just a damp cloth, but I wanted to show you a close-up of what my desk looks like after I've been splattering paint all over it. Now that I've erased all of the pencil markings and have almost finished filling in the calendars, I get to add the last of the palm trees. And then that will be the last of the spreads. I did 1 week per page for April. There's nothing really exciting happening in April that I need to record. It's just work. So I didn't need a whole ton of room to record other things. I do have a list that I have started since recording this video on the next page, and it's just my spring cleaning list. I'm going to stick around home and get all of the nooks and crannies cleaned that haven't been touched in embarrassingly too long. And that about does it. I will give you a few close-ups of how the 3 spreads turned out. And upon the close-up, you'll be able to see the metallic shine a bit better. I hope you enjoyed watching my April spread, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.